Hey everyone, it's Marvin here. In this video, I'm going to be installing a dash cam in my 2020 F150. I'm going to do the hardware installation. That means I'm going to tap the ACC and the VCC wire into the fuse box. Hardware installation is required if you want the 24/7 monitoring in a parking mode to be activated. Otherwise, you can just use the plug-into cigarette lighter cable and you're good to go. Disclaimer, this camera was sent to me by Cievie in exchange of this installation video, and it's just perfect because I've been thinking to upgrade my dash cam in my truck anyways. Cievie dash cam comes with a front and rear camera. The front camera records in 4K resolution with 170 degrees field of view, which is very wide. It means that you're not gonna have blind spot on the side. And the rear camera records in 1080p resolution with 150 degrees field of view, which is still wider compared to the most cameras on the market, which only has 140 or 130 degrees field of view. I already tested both cameras before start making this video. I don't want to do the hardware installation and then later find out that I'm not happy with it. Let me show you the short clip of the recordings. I mounted both cameras at the front just to see the difference between 170 and 150 degrees. There you can see the difference. The top one is the rear camera, 150 degrees field of view, and the bottom one is 170 degrees field of view. And there you can see as well the difference between 4K and 1080p. Now let's do the quick unboxing just to show you guys what we got in the box, and then after that we're going to start the installation. As I mentioned, that is going to be a hardware install, so Cievie also sent me a hardware kit, but take note that this hardware kit does not come with a fuse tab, so I grabbed a set from Amazon and it comes with different type of fuse, so it's compatible with different vehicle, which is very nice. By the way, if you made this far, please do me a favor, click that like button now before you forget, and consider subscribing because I have another big installations gonna happen in this F150, and that is the iDoing 12.1 screen Android head unit. This is gonna be so exciting. You can see right here, there's lots of wire that I'm gonna be connected on this installation. So if you don't wanna miss that, make sure to click that notification bell. And without further delay, let's start with the installation of the Cievie D100Pro. Right, so I started by removing my old dash cam. One of the drawbacks of this camera is that it still uses the micro USB instead of the USB-C. Be patient when removing the mount. You can use a heat gun if you have one. In my case, it was a really sunny day at the time, so the windshield was already hot, which made it much easier to remove. And after removing the mount, I used some alcohol to clean the surface. This will help ensure that the adhesive on the new mounts will stick properly. And I won't be using the electrostatic sticker because I'm going to mount the D100 Pro under the fit of the windshield. It's gonna be like that, as long as it's not covering the lens, so that is going to be good. Now I like this placement here. It's closer to me, and at least the camera is not gonna be direct to the sunlight if it's very sunny. Again, you just have to position it that the lens won't be covered. So good thing that it comes with a plug-in option. So you're gonna plug it to the 12 volts. I like this camera because it's just a straightforward SD card slot, USB-C power, and the AV out for the rear camera. Nothing else, and the other side is just power. This is a multifunction button. While recording, you can press it once to lock that video, and you know, like to secure it, this one, it's not gonna be erased. Yeah, so I'm just gonna turn the ignition on to turn it on. So you guys can see, even if probably see if I get too close here, you can see the frit of the windshield, so that's not good. But I don't want to get too close there anyway, because you want to have access here on the side here for the SD card and the other cable. That way as well, it's not gonna block my visibility here. If some people, they like it to put it in the center right there, but again, it's just too far. I guess too far, especially I have like a wide view mirror. I cannot see it. I want to see the LCD. I want to access it, like, you know, again, it's a multifunction button. If like I want to lock that, I'm just gonna press it once like that.
Video locked.
You guys can hear that. See, while it's recording, you press it once.
Video locked.
There you go. So if it's too far, I cannot reach that while I'm driving. You also have to make sure that you have enough room here to release the camera from the mounting bracket. So don't get too close here. So I'm gonna go like there. There you go. Just gonna check it outside. And again, you need to have room here. So let's try to remove it. There you go, and then make sure this one is secure. Okay, put it back again. There you go. Right, so now the camera is installed. Secure there. I can remove it easily if I want to, and it's gonna be easy install as well. So the hardwire starts from here and then goes in between right there, goes all the way here, and then inserted to the headliner and goes right there. I guess you guys can see. Right, so from here it goes to the rubber seal all the way down. And remember, if you have a side curtain airbag system, do not push the wire too deep. You don't want to interfere with the airbag system and, you know, like causing it not to deploy properly. The only challenge I got is the hardwire kit. The module is like in between the cable. I wish they put it like almost to the end, but I managed to do something. I used the extra 3M tape that comes with the camera. So I stick it there, as you guys can see, and tuck it in again to the rubber door seal all the way down. You guys can see the cable right there to where is the fuse box is, which is right here. So for the rear camera cable, instead of going to the right, same as the hardwire, I routed it to the left. Same thing, I tuck it into the headliner and then go here, and then all the way it goes right there. It goes here, and again to the rubber door seal all the way here and straight, and here, and here is the camera. And the rest of the cable, I just stuck it in behind the seat, so you guys can see right there. So it's not going anywhere. And by the way, this is the reason why I routed the rear camera cable to the left, because I have a sliding window here that it slides to the right. So I cannot install it to the right, otherwise it will hit the camera. There you can see that's how it was, but I wasn't happy. And I realized that because the rail is like all the way here, so I was able to hide the wire, and it looks cleaner. So yeah, the connector of the wire, I'm just gonna hide it here. I know that it's gonna be here in case I need to disconnect it later. If let's say the rear camera died, I can just like disconnect it here and then buy another camera and hook it up again. So that is secure right there. I'm gonna use the Velcro strap that comes with it. So this is nice. For me, this is actually thoughtful, because like instead of using, you know, the regular disposable twist tie for the wire, this is the one that they use for the cigarette lighter one. They use a Velcro strap for the rear cable. That said, like they know that, you know, like usually you're gonna have like existing wire, so you're gonna need that to, you know, for the cable management. So that's really good. So I'm gonna use this Okay, like that. And then I'm just gonna hide it here behind the seat, and no one should see it. Right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove the floor mat, my favorite floor mat. By the way, this is a Tuxmat floor mat. I also made a review of it. If you guys want to see that, I'm gonna leave the link in the description below. And just to show you how clean is the carpet there, just super clean, this Tuxmat floor mat. I really love it. Right guys, so it's time to show you where the fuse box is. Again, this is the front passenger side, and the fuse box is here. This is the door. So to remove the door, you can see there's a bump right there. That's the handle to pull it out. Oh my gosh, my hand looks like a elastic man. Anyway, whatever. All right, so let's open the door. I just have to yank it. That's very easy. Right there. You guys can see the tab right there, and then when you put it back later, there is two tabs that it has to go in here and one at the bottom. Right, so just put this away, and let's put the light on so you guys can see that properly. Right, so it's right there. The other end of the Hardwire kit is already here with a built-in two fuse for the ACC and the VCC. First thing first, once you find where the fuse box is located, first thing you have to do is to find where to tap the ground wire. So you have to look for like a bolt that is connected to the chassis, like here. There's nothing there aside from this one here. Luckily that there's one bolt right there for sure that is connected to the chassis, and it's very close to the fuse box. So I got my multimeter here. I'm gonna set it to the DC bolt. At this point my microphone died. I didn't notice it, so I've set my multimeter to DC bolts, and I have an alligator clip attached to the negative black probe. And I'm going to clip the other end of that alligator clip to the bolt on the chassis. This will serve our ground connection once we confirm. Next, we are going to check the fuses. On top of each fuse, you can see there is a test point, a small metal contact designed for checking whether the fuse is good or blown. And there you go, we get a 12 volt DC. It means that bolt is connected to the chassis, which is the ground. Now that we confirm that the bolt is properly grounded to the chassis, we can use it as our ground for our dash cam. I'm not going to connect the ground just yet. We'll do that later once we are ready to finalize the wiring. For now, let's go ahead and identify which fuse we can use for our ACC, accessory power, and VCC, constant power. First, we need to locate our VCC, a fuse that provides constant 12 volts even when the ignition is off. Looking at the user manual, fuse number 28 looks like a good candidate because it's not currently in use, which make it ideal for tapping into without interfering with existing circuits. So let's go ahead and test the fuse number 28 with a multimeter to confirm that it's supplying a constant 12 volts regardless of the ignition position. If it does, we can safely use it our VCC constant power source. All right, so I decided to use the number 28 fuse for the VCC line. Show you guys right there. There's a 12 volts, and on the other side also have 12 volts, of course. Right now the ignition is off, and there's no accessories. This is like constant 12 volts. It means that it's directly connected to the battery. Now next thing that we have to do is to find where is the input of the fuse. Means the pin of the fuse that is connected directly to the battery, and the out is the pin that connected to the load. So in order to find it, what we have to do is to pull the fuse out using the long nose. There's actually like a tool for the fuse, like a puller for the fuse, but I don't have it right now. don't worry about the beep. That's my multimeter. It will turn off automatically. So I'm gonna pull this fuse out. There you go. Now we have to find which pin has the 12 volts. There's nothing there. There's also nothing on the other side. That means that my test probe is not reaching the contact of the socket of the fuse. Let me grab my Fluke multimeter. I know it has like different type of test probe. I'll be back. Right, so I got my Fluke multimeter, and actually I have the adapter for the test probe, so I'm not gonna use the Fluke. I'm still gonna use the same one. Let me attach the adapter. I'm just gonna turn this off. Alright, so I got the adapter. You can see that is really pointy, so what you have to do is to just put that on to the positive. That's the only one we need. We don't need the negative because it's like we're using the alligator clip. This adapter also available from Amazon. I'm gonna put the link in the description below. So let's go ahead and test the pins of the socket again. So my multimeter automatically turned off. I have just to turn it off and turn it on again. Okay, that is on this side here. There's nothing. It's hard to see the other side, but there you go. There's 12 volts. You guys can see that. Sorry. Right, so there's 12 volts on this side, and on the other side there's nothing. So it means the input of the fuse is in this side right here, and the load is on that side. So all the fuse stops that we have, like, it just color red. I wish that it comes with like a pair as like red and yellow. So what I'm gonna do is, by the way, so we are using this type of fuse. You can just match the pin right there. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to tap. This is gonna be for our VCC, so I have like a string tube here. Just gonna grab this. This one is gonna fit. This is very too big, or maybe this one here, as long as it's yellow, right? So I'm going to just put this one in here. Right, so for the fuse stop, the direction of the voltage is from here to here. As you can see that the wire is connected here, and at the bottom socket, that's for the original, that is not connected to this wire. As you can see right there that the wire is connected on the top. So we're going to put the original fuse at the bottom, and then the fuse that we're going to use for our dash cam is gonna be on the top. So this is the fuse that we took from the fuse box. So this is the original one. Just gonna insert it there, even though it says it's a spare, but let's just put it back. Make sure to push it all the way. So now I'm gonna grab a fuse here. This is the yellow one here. That's 20 amperes. That's also the original right there, is 20 amperes. Fuse actually is color coded. You can tell, like how many amperes by the color if you memorize them. Anyway, yeah, so I already grabbed one right here. Then we're gonna put that on the top. Just hard to do it with one hand. I'm holding a camera on one hand. So again, the bottom one is the original one from the fuse box, and the top one, that's the one we're going to use for our VCC for the Cievie D100Pro Dash Cam. So we're going to install our fuse stop in this direction, like that. I'm gonna use a heat gun later on to shrink that string tube. So let me just install it. Okay, so it's gonna be like this. Hopefully it will fit right there. All right, so it's just like that. Right, so for the ACC, I'm going to use the fuse number 37, which is the one at the very bottom here. Right now the ignition is off, so it shouldn't have voltage on both sides. There you go, it's 0. Now I'm gonna get my daughter to turn the ignition on. My Lariat has a push button start, so like I don't need a key. I got my daughter in the driver's side. She's going to push that start button. Let's get ready here. Just gonna reset my multimeter just to make sure that's not gonna automatically turn off. Alright, so it's gonna put my test probe there. Alright, so we got no voltage right now, so press the button once. There you go, we got 11.89 volts. The same on the other side, 11.7 volts. And you guys can see that the radio is on. So I'm gonna go back here. So press the button once again. There you are. And also you can hear the click of the relay. So now we don't have a voltage, so that means that a fuse is connected to the ignition switch. Again, because my Lariat is pushed to start, so that's why it's using the relay instead of the key cylinder to cut off the accessory. Now our hardwire is ready to be installed. As you can see right there that the yellow shrink tube helps. So now we have the color coded yellow to yellow and red to red. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut these built-in fuses and then crimp the wire directly to the fuse stops. This, that. So it's cut, and I'm going to do the VCC first. Let's see. Right. Yeah, that is better. And now I'm just gonna crimp it with here. So that is connected properly. Like that. Alright, so again I'm gonna shrink tube that later, and then the same thing with the red wires. Right, so then you can feel that, like when you put it in, you can feel if the wire is touching the metal. So you can see what I'm doing there. Alright, so that is secure, both of the secure. Now I'm going to use my War Pro. This is the set that I have. There's a swivel here, and this is a ratchet, but the ratchet doesn't fit there because of this plastic here. So what I'm going to do is just gonna open wrench, and use my hand, and then I'm just gonna insert this to here. What I'm gonna do is just to hold this here so that it will stay there. Alright, so everything connected, our ACC and then the VCC, and the ground. I'm not gonna close it right now. I have to make sure that the camera is working before closing everything. So yeah, so let's go ahead and check it. Right, so ignition is off. Now we're going to connect the USB-C power. Before you do the tapping into the fuse box, it's always a good idea to disconnect the load just to be safe. So now I'm going to plug in the USB-C power and the camera should turn on. There you go. The blue light is on and the camera is on, and it should start recording. There you go. And as you guys can see that the ignition is off. Okay, so that means that we're getting power to the camera. As you can see that the LCD screen turns off, but that is just to conserve the battery power. But the camera is still on and it's still recording. And I also mentioned earlier that I'm gonna show you guys how to check if the ACC and the VCC wire are connected properly, especially if you get your dash cam installed by someone else, even professional or certified installer. You know, like mistake can happen sometimes, you know, like you can switch the wire, the ACC and the VCC, and also to make sure that we're getting power from ACC and the VCC. But as you guys can see that as soon as we plug in the cable, the camera turns on and start recording. That means that 100% that we are getting power from VCC line. Once you turn the ignition key to the accessory, it will send the voltage to the camera and it will tell the camera to turn on. The same thing with the push start. Once you push that button once, it will send the voltage to the ACC and then it will tell the camera to turn on. And when you turn off the ignition, the voltage will cut off and then it will tell the camera to turn off as well. Alright, so this is way better. You guys can see the camera and then the whole dash of the truck. Anyway, here the camera is still active. The blue light is still blinking. So now I'm gonna turn the ignition off.
Stop recording.
And there you go, the camera stopped recording and turns off. So that's the indication that we connected our ACC correctly. Let's turn it on again. And the camera should turn on as well. And start recording.
Start recording.
Okay, there you go. Again, that's the first indication that our ACC and VCC line is connected properly and we are getting voltage from both lines. Otherwise, if the camera is only getting power from ACC, the camera will not turn on at all. And if the camera is only getting power from VCC, your camera will turn on 24/7 non-stop. So that is not good because it is going to drain your battery. Sorry about the noise. Plane, you know, just pass by like I would say like every 10 to 15 minutes. Now, if you want to make sure that your 24/7 parking monitoring mode is active, and of course, when it's active, it means like the ACC and the VCC wire are connected properly. So what you have to do is to turn the ignition off, and then the camera will stop recording and turn off. Now, as you can see, everything is off: ignition, radio, and the camera. And if you are using the key, you just have to turn it to the off position and then take the key out. So now what you have to do to confirm that your 24/7 parking mode monitoring is active is to press the button once while the ignition is off, and the camera should turn on and start recording.
Start recording.
There you go. So that means that your ACC and VCC wire are connected properly in the fuse box. And there you can see that the LCD turns off again just to conserve the battery, but the camera is still recording. So to turn that off, you just have to press the ignition to on and then turn it off again.
Stop recording.
And the camera will go back to the normal state, which is 24/7 parking mode monitoring. Okay, so that's how you check and confirm if the ACC and the VCC line are connected properly to the fuse box. Now that we confirm that everything works fine, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the cover back on the fuse box. Here's the cover, and you can see there's like the grab handle here to pull it out. So I'm going to try to get the wire go through there. So we'll see. See if that is possible. Just gonna run this one here, and then I'm gonna tuck it in under the carpet. See if that's gonna work, and then let's see if I can lock the panel now. There you go. Oops, the yellow and thing exposed. Just gonna push that in more. I don't want to see that. It's possible. There you go. I think that is secure. Alright, so everything back in place. Just want to show you guys the coverage of this Tux mat. Is all the way inside and here under the seat. To the edge of the door right there, and even on the side, and it's connected to the back. You guys can see that. That's why it's really keep my carpet clean, and it's also waterproof, so it's really perfect for winter as well. So again, I really love this mat. Right, so if you guys interested, I'm gonna put the link in the description below. Everything you see in this video that I use, the link is gonna be in the description below. All right, so now it's time to test it out. As you can see, I've connected my phone to the camera using the GKU Go app. That is the app that the Cievie Dash Cam is using, which you can download from the Play Store. If you want to see how I downloaded and set up mine, that part is at the very end of this video, but I won't be explaining it here. It's just a screen recording from my phone. You can simply follow the instruction in the manual if you need help. Now I'm gonna show you guys some clips on SD card, both day and night recordings. And if you pay attention to the night footage, you'll notice a motorcycle is starting to do a wheelie next to me. I was going about 120 kilometers per hour at the time, so that bike was probably doing at least 140 kilometers per hour when he popped that wheelie. So without the Cievie Dash Cam, I wouldn't have been able to capture that moment.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own.
Alright guys, so that's wrap up the installation of the D100 Pro Dash Cam from Cievie. And just a reminder again, if you hardwire your dash cam, it means that it's always connected to your car battery, especially sorry about that. So just a reminder again, if you hardwire your dash cam, it means it's always connected to your car battery, especially if you turn that 24/7 parking mode on. Let's say you go to Mexico for 2 weeks, or you go cruise for like a month, so like your dash cam will drain your car battery slowly, so the chances that when you get back home your car won't start. The worst scenario is if you park your car at the park and ride, and then you go for a vacation for 2 weeks or a month, and then when you get back you cannot start your car. That's gonna be so frustrating, and that's a big hassle. So again, keep that in mind, and I would recommend to bring a booster with you and keep it in the car. Or you can get the one that is more portable, like this one. That's gonna save you a lot of frustrations. So hopefully you find this video informative and useful. And if you have any question about the installation, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. And if you are interested with the Cievie Dash Cam, I will leave the link in the description below as well. And I will also recommend to get the Pro version if you can. You get the IPS screen, and it also have a built-in GPS, which is I really like. So the video quality from both front and rear camera is very impressive. Even though the rear camera is only 1080p, it's still very clear. The only thing I would recommend is adding a circular polarizer filter to reduce the glare, especially on the sunny days. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.